I feel like this pedal is deceiving, in which, yes, it is a simple delay because it just has mixed time and repeat controls, and that's it. The decays in this tape mode like quickly move to the back and like kind of create this like dark undercurrent under what you're playing that I think sounds really cool. It's like a cloud of delay.
Yeah. Silos.
Yes.
That is one of your most recent creations,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. I feel like this pedal is deceiving, in which, yes, it is a simple delay because it just has mixed time and repeat controls, and that's it. But I think like the tones of the delays are complex, and then they become more complex when you add like overdrive into the mix. You know, I'm a big fan of like something like a Boss DD6, like something with a real strong, very bright, like clean digital repeat.
Yeah.
But I do find like that sound can get in the way really easily. Like if you're playing against it and stuff like that, doing a lot of rhythmic playing, yeah, it's perfect. But then if you like immediately want to switch to like some kind of open chord or something like that, the strong repeats can get in the way, and I feel like it gets all muddy. So like what I wanted to do was like make it so, you know, you can still get kind of like that dynamic response if you're playing something real mathy and want to like play off of yourself. But if it starts to slowly roll off the high end with each repeat, it still has like a strong like tone, especially if you use like some kind of overdrive in front of it. The way that it like gradually rolls off the top end just kind of makes it sit back in the background, so it doesn't make your playing like just messy, smeary, you know. Analog delay was me just trying to recreate my favorite analog delay, which is not a very popular one. It's a KMD analog delay, which has like I think like a really strong like mid-range presence in its decay, but still like gets pretty dark as each you know.
I remember you showed me that pedal when back at Earthquake Day when I visited you guys, and you said there was something you loved the tone, but the tone control was always active.
Yes,
affecting your entire signal.
Yeah, always. Like even when it's in bypass, like it's always present in the signal, which I did not, of course, include. I'm just like, it's like its most bizarre feature. It's like, why bypass the whole effect except for the tone control, which like, you know, way back when I first got that pedal, it was the first pedal I've ever owned. Like, I didn't know much about guitar effects, and I was just into playing guitar, and I was like, throw delay on it. Let me buy this thing, and it was cool. But then, like, you know, I'd have days where I was like, why is my amp so dark? Something must be wrong. And then, like, without even like dawning on me, this tone control was always in the circuit. But yeah, it just has this really nice character to it, where I think it has a strong like mid-range presence, but it like kind of quickly like forms this really nice like kind of soupy reverb like sound underneath like as it's decaying. The tape setting is like kind of a mashup of like my EP3 and EP4 Echo plexes, the Space Echo, and then I have these two oil can delays. One's a Telray and Echo, and the other's organ tone. I just kind of wanted to incorporate all the things I liked about all of those into one little effect. And like my tape delays are all old and kind of noisy and a little bit dirty and distorted and dark. And then the way those oil can delays like sit underneath what you're playing and just form like this dark cloud. Yeah. It kind of just creates some like vibe to it. Like the decays in this tape mode like quickly move to the back and like kind of create this like, I don't know, like dark undercurrent under what you're playing that I think sounds really cool. It's like a cloud of delay. I mean, I played around with all the other delay pedals that I have, like after this thing was done, and was like, I don't think there's anything else that really sounds like it. And I was like very stoked about its small form factor with the tap tempo and everything. This was actually the very first of all of these pedals that I worked on, and I just kind of kept tweaking it and refining it over the years until it became Silas.
Yeah, but also I have to admit, like when I first saw it, it was like, okay, this is nice. It's simple, but I keep coming back to it, especially because of that analog mode. Because as you say, there's just something about the way that it sits in a mix. It has this like really, the initial attack is strong, present, mid-focused, and then the way it just turns into this atmosphere, it's just really nice. And I just find myself gravitating towards that mode constantly, you know. It's a sound that I constantly have in my head, and here it is, and I don't really have to think about it. And that's just really nice. I think something like this would be the way that I tend to use it. Like a bit longer delay, with plenty of repeats. The more repeats you put on, the more you get that atmosphere going.
Yeah, like even as it's decaying, it just has that mid-focus, I think, too. Even though it's getting darker and darker, you know, in a way, like, I don't know. This is just like very stoked on the way that ended up happening.
Yeah, because as you say, like with digital delays, like they have that presence and they're nice to play off, and I really, really like that.
Yeah, me too.
But I also like the more atmospheric stuff of analog, and I feel like that one hits something really nice in the middle where you can sort of do both.
Yeah. It's all like, I think in the voicing, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, there's everybody has a million delay options today, but it's not until you sit down and play with something that I think you kind of get a sense for how it sounds and how it's going to work with your playing and where it sits in the world. And like, I don't know, I was just very pleasantly surprised after playing with this, like how the voicing kind of came together. That I think it has kind of a unique sound.
What will your go-to sound be?
Honestly, it's that pretty much. But like I do really like I kind of roll that one back a little bit, but like keep blowing it out with this fuzz, but like with this tape delay setting, it kind of creates like almost like a reverb.
Oh. That's the post-rock tone.
Yeah.
I love that.
But it's like, you know, there's like enough repeats bouncing around that if you want, you can play off of it. But for the most part, it just kind of sits in the background and creates this like, I don't know, just atmosphere.
It really adds some width and some presence to the sound. Like if you were to try and play that riff. Almost like with the doubler, although it gets more mushy, but it sounds bigger and hence better.
Bigger's always better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the main setting that I would use all the time.
I like that.